For years, rising obesity rates have been blamed on a presumed drop in physical activity. The dominant story goes like this. Modern life has made us sedentary, and we burn fewer calories than our ancestors, resulting in gradual weight gain and poor metabolic health. But recent evidence challenges this widely accepted belief. When we look closely at energy expenditure over time, how many calories people actually burn each day, we find that it hasn't declined nearly as much as many assume. What has changed, and dramatically so, is the food we eat. Anthropological studies comparing modern humans with hunter-gatherer populations show that total daily energy expenditure is surprisingly stable across lifestyles. Despite their physically demanding routines, hunter-gatherers don't necessarily burn far more calories than the average office worker once differences in body size and composition are accounted for. The human body is remarkably efficient. It adapts to increased physical activity by conserving energy in other areas, such as immune function, stress response, or even reproductive effort. This built-in energy balance mechanism means we can't simply assume that more movement equals more calories burned in a straightforward, additive way. What this suggests is profound. The obesity epidemic isn't primarily caused by people moving less. It's caused by people eating more, particularly eating more of the wrong kinds of calories. Over the past half-century, diets have shifted from minimally processed, whole food meals to calorie-dense, ultra-processed products filled with refined sugars, seed oils, and artificial additives. These industrially manufactured foods are designed not only for convenience and shelf life, but for maximum palatability, blunting satiety signals and encouraging chronic overconsumption. This is the real nutritional catastrophe. The calories we consume today are not just more abundant, they are fundamentally different in quality. Unlike whole foods, ultra-processed foods bypass many of the body's natural hunger-regulating mechanisms. They are easy to chew, fast to digest, and often low in fiber, protein, and micronutrients. As a result, they fail to trigger the physical and hormonal cues that signal fullness. The body ends up consuming far more calories than needed, while receiving less of what it truly requires to function well. The decline in food quality is also visible in the collapse of traditional eating patterns. Meals prepared at home with raw ingredients have been replaced by takeout, packaged snacks, sugary drinks, and ready-to-eat meals. Cooking skills have diminished. Ingredient lists have grown longer and harder to pronounce. Even foods marketed as healthy, like flavored yogurts, protein bars, or whole-grain cereals, often contain significant added sugars and refined starches, masking their poor nutritional value behind clever labeling. Meanwhile, calorie awareness is easily lost. A single fast food meal can pack 1,500 calories or more, yet still leave someone hungry an hour later. Compare that to a home-cooked meal of whole grains, legumes, and vegetables, lower in calories, higher in fiber, and far more satiating. The problem isn't that people are eating more because they're lazier. The problem is they're eating more because the food system encourages and rewards overeating through taste, convenience, cost, and marketing. Importantly, this understanding reorients the conversation from blame to biology. If energy expenditure has remained relatively stable, then most people's baseline caloric needs haven't changed dramatically. What has changed is how difficult it has become to meet those needs with healthy food. It's now possible and extremely common to consume more calories in a single sitting than most people burned in an entire day 50 years ago. That's not due to a lack of discipline. That's due to a food environment designed to overwhelm willpower. The hopeful takeaway is that if energy expenditure hasn't changed much, then we don't need to rely on unsustainable exercise routines to restore balance. Instead, the key lies in improving food quality, eating more whole, minimally processed foods, increasing fiber and protein, cutting back on added sugars and industrial fats, and rediscovering how to cook and eat with awareness. These shifts are powerful. They don't require perfection, just consistency and a clear understanding of what the body truly needs. This perspective also allows for more compassionate and effective public health response. Instead of pushing people to move more without addressing what they're eating, we can focus on fixing the food supply itself through better education, smarter policies, and more accessible nutritious options. Movement still matters for mental health, cardiovascular fitness, and longevity, but it's not the primary weapon in the fight against obesity. In a world flooded with misleading messages, it's essential to ground our understanding of health in evidence, not assumption. We haven't become dramatically lazier. Our bodies haven't stopped burning calories. What has changed is the nature of what we're consuming, and that is a problem we can begin to solve. By refocusing on food quality, not just quantity, we have a real chance to reverse the metabolic trends of the modern age, and to do so in a way that's both sustainable and empowering.